Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we are testing the MetroY Pro from Revopoint. Very nice little scanner with the technology I never used before. It's like, I'm using lots of photogrammetry and I'm using infrared scanning with the MetroY. I have a desktop laser scanning and that's the first time that I'm using a blue light scanner. This scanner is very nice. It has several scanning modes, which is very nice. All of them are different it's for different use. Some of them are just for kind of prototyping, very quick, and some of them are a lot more precise. Some of them are just specialized for shiny object, black object, all this kind of stuff. And there is even one mode which is for very deep object. So it's like if for example you have a surface here and then you have a big cavity, that mode is just made for this kind of situation, which is very, very cool. The scanner is coming with that very nice box, so it will be very well protected. If you look at it, it's pretty strong. It's a bit smaller than a suitcase you would bring in a plane in the cabin, so very well protected. There is everything you need in it. So you will get the scanner, of course, you will get the cable, you will get all the plug for electricity, you will get a very nice tripod and very nice turntable. So the turntable is like that. I will just bring it here. So as you can see, it's pretty cool. So it already has some markers on the top, which is very nice, and you just have to plug it to electricity, and then it rotates on 2 axes. So it rotates in the classic way of a turntable, but then it can bend on both sides, and you can play with it here. So you have 3 buttons here, so you will be able to make it turn, and then you will be able to change the orientation manually. But that thing could be connected in Bluetooth to the app. So if you have a Bluetooth antenna or something on your computer, you would be able to pilot this through the software from Revopoint, which is very, very cool. Here I can show you, the little tripod. So the stuff which is pretty nice is that, well, that's just a classic one. If you have a DSLR or something, you could put it on it if you want. So you have a screwdriver here, you can just plug it here, you turn, and then you could put something on the turntable, you orient the scanner the proper way and everything, and it will work just perfectly. So it's something very, very cool. That tripod is pretty nice actually. So if you look at the scanner itself, that thing looks pretty beautiful. You can control the scanner from here. So that's very, very cool. So when you are scanning, you can press, stop the scan, start the scan, just, under your finger. That's something which is very, very cool. So I could show you the plug, which are here. So the scanner is already plugged to the computer. So you have a very strong and a very long cable. So the object you want to scan could be a bit more further away, and you could be able, to plug it. I will just do it now. So as you can see, it works like that. That's a very strong one. And then it starts to blink in red, and then it will be green. All good. And there is a kind of a fan into it. So you can see there is a temperature sensor into it, but it can cool down because of the fan, which is very, very cool. Let's talk a bit about the spec first. So it can go up to 0.01 millimeters of precision, up to 0.02 plus 0.04 millimeters volumetric accuracy. You can get 1.7 million points per second in laser modes, and up to 7 million points per second in full field structured light. It uses Wi-Fi 6 for wireless scanning. So you will be able to download an app on your computer and on your phone, and this will allow you to see exactly what you're doing. Like I said, you have a real-time temperature monitoring, which is very cool. A 2 megapixel RGB camera for texture capture. Well, you know from the previous video I've made that I'm not, you know, really using color when I scan, but this is a very nice addition. So first we will see all the different scanning modes. I will just go on the software and we'll see. So here we are in the software Revo Metro. It's a free software that you can download on Revopoint website. As you can see, the first step, which is pretty important, is to see marker scan or feature scan. Marker scan, you can use every scan mode, but feature scan, you can use full field mode, as you can see here, full field and auto turntable. So right now we'll just go full field, and the type of object will be general or dark object. Object type, general or black object. Okay, so I will just go general. And for the depth exposure, I will just click automatic. And when I will want to start the scan, I won't just click on start here. I will click on the scanner itself, which is just more convenient, you know, in a way. Okay guys, so that's the first model I wanted to show you. That's a Stegosaurus model from the Lost World. It was sculpted by Stan Winston Studio for the movie Jurassic Park The Lost World. So that's a very, very cool model, production maquette, full of detail. So for now, do not pay too much attention to all the tiny dots I put on his back, because that's not the purpose of the very first stuff I want to show you now. Same for the table. So as you can see, there is a table, you have all the dots and everything. These dots were made in a way to have a kind of a pre-calibrated area. So I put the dot, I scan the dot, and then everything I put on it, the scanner knows exactly where it is. So for example, if I start to scan the head of the Stegosaurus, then I would be able to scan the head, the tail, and if I want to scan the middle of the body after that, it will work. The head will be a perfect continuity of the body and the tail. So that works very well. Right now, first stuff we'll do, as you can see here, it's a full field, and we are in feature scan. You can use the scanner wireless if you want. You will just have, you know, the phone, you know, under it, and you will see while scanning what it's happening. The stuff is I'm not using this right now, so I will just have to keep a look here. Depth camera is a bit underexposed. Okay, I will just click on auto here, so it should be fine. Okay, so right now what I will do, you can see here, you know, I will just click on the little triangle and I will just start scanning here. We'll just go here. And as you can see, incredibly quickly and easily, it's scanning the model. And it does it incredibly fast. That's absolutely crazy. That's very, very, very nice. Okay, so you know it lost the tracking and it found it back without you having to do anything. So that's very, very, very useful. So that's the first mode, which is full field. That's the only mode that you can do without markers. I will just press on the little triangle, scan post. So you can control everything from here. Very, very useful. So that's the first mode. I'm not using it too much because that's not the mode which has the best quality, unfortunately. This one is very quick, but I would use it for kind of a quick prototyping or something like that. If you want a very high resolution, I would use another mode. Here, I will just show you every single mode, one by one. And then we will go into Revo Metro, and I will show you a bit how things are working over there. But first, I will show you a bit how this stuff are working. So now we will move from full field feature scan to marker scan. That scanner works better with marker scan than with feature scan. So the feature scan is a bit for quick prototyping and everything, but the marker scan, that's where the scanner really shines. We are moving to another scanning mode. So instead of feature scan, you will just go to marker scan. And instead of full field, you will just go cross lines. Cross lines is kind of optimized for very shiny object or very black object. You will see a bit how it works. So there is the depth exposure and the laser brightness. Usually I do not touch too much this data. Then you have the target point distance. So I will push it to the left completely because the point distance will be smaller, so the cloud point will be heavier. So I want to get as much detail as possible. Then you have two types of tracking mode. The marker tracking, which means you will take the markers and you will put them on the object or anything you want to scan. Or then you have another mode, which is a global marker tracking. That's the one I will use. And as you can see, I already have 3 frames. I will use the one on the top. So if I click on the 3 dots here, I will just go rename and I will just call it, I don't know, base. Okay. So I know that my base. If you run it like this, you can see it's like a rectangle. And that's actually the table behind me. So right now, what I did is that I firstly scan all the tiny dots on the table. And that table is just for me to scan. So the goal is just to scan with it. And so all the dots are already pre-registered. So I could put an object on the left of the table and on the right of the table, and it will just put them exactly in the right position. If I put a big object on that table, I can scan the head, stop, scan a part of the tail, and there will be exactly the good distance between the two pieces. That's very, very, very convenient. So I put it on small table like that, I'm sure it's not moving at all. So you can use some maths with trackers and everything, but usually I just plug the tracker on something which I'm sure it's not moving at all. Like that, it's absolutely accurate. I do it one time and then it's done. Object type, general, it seems to be pretty nice. No, I will put metallic shiny object. Okay, yes. And then there is a marker inner diameters, 3 millimeters, 6 millimeters, 10 millimeters. So I suspect it's probably 6. So I will just untick 3, but I'm not sure, it could be 10. So I will just let it like that. And I will just go and scan my first shiny object for you to have a look. So here is the second model I wanted to scan. Why did I pick that one? Because that thing is a kind of a metallic reflective area, but it's not just a Barbasol can, because you know I'm a big fan of Jurassic Park and I have lots of crazy stuff. Let's open it. Makes a bit of noise. I have it since years and it's very humid here in Tahiti. Let's open it. Yay! So here you can see you have all the system you see in the film. So what I will do for this one is just to first, I will remove all the tiny plastic area. So I'll just try to remove them all. Okay, nice. I will put them on the side. Okay. So here you have that piece of model. Okay, so I'm not putting trackers right on the model. So trackers are under it. So every time you want to scan something, it needs to see the trackers. If I want to see under it, I can't do this. So I can't get the under part of it because I have no trackers in this area. It will be completely lost. So what I would do for this one is that I would remove these pieces here, for example. I would put them, on the ground, and I will put them like here, and I will scan everything like that. And then what I would do is that I will put this one a bit like this, for example. Why do I do this? because I will scan in this area. I will go on the side. I will scan on this area. I will delete all this part here, but on that scan, I will have both sides. So I will be able to merge that scan with that one. So that's just how it works. So for now, I will use the cross line mode, and I will go marker tracking, and instead of general, I will go metallic shiny object. So I will go here and I will start the scan using the button here. So it's pretty cool. Let's have a look. Start scanning. Okay. I will just go around here and I will just slowly move up and down. You can see the model is kind of yellow, and the more it will be green, the more the scan will be good. The shiny objects are working very well in parallel line modes too. So most of the time, even for shiny object, I use parallel line. But I just would like to display, all the options for you to see. So I will press on the triangle to stop everything. And then we'll go in the software and I will show you how to mix everything together. Okay, so here you are back on Revo Metro. So I pre-processed everything because it's a bit longer and time consuming, and I want to show you, every step. But we still have several models to cover, so I'm just trying to avoid the video to be too long. So here, if you click Raw, you will see the original scan. So that scan is complete. So I showed you the process. This is an older scan I've done before and processed before that video. So here you can see I used the mat on that one. So that's the cryo can from Jurassic Park. So like I said, instead of having everything connected together, what I did is that I removed the pieces and I put the pieces on the ground because it's just easier to scan this way. And this is my first piece. So you could go fast fusion or high quality fusion. So right now I always go high quality fusion. And then you have the point distance. So recommended 0.12, but the maximum quality I can get is 0.10. I will just go 0.10. Remove markers, I could remove them, but I will remove everything anyway. So it's fine. So you just click on apply and this will be the fused model. So what you could do is just click on isolation, detect and apply. My value is just 15% on isolation. And then you have the overlay. Isolation means if you have some floating island of scan, a bit here and there, you just set a value and it detects everything which is under that value. So if it's like 15%, everything which is smaller than 50% of the size of the object will be deleted, selected and deleted. Then you have overlay. Overlay means if you have a surface and two areas are close to each other but not exactly on top of each other, it will just delete this area. So it's very useful too. So my value right now is 0.21, and that will give you that fuse result, which is pretty cool. Then you can smooth and simplify. Usually I do not smooth or simplify. I do it later in ZBrush. And once you have this, the stuff is I still miss some area. So I have done all the scan of the other area. So let's see. Here is one of the piece. So that's the other side of the first piece. So what I'm doing is that I want stuff to be more complete than just one scan. So I will just click on merge. So I will select several model, for example, and then I will just go feature. You can go feature on or manual alignment. So feature means it will search where it matches best and it will align automatically. But I guess it needs 10% overlap or something like that. But manual alignment is something where you will put some dots, 3 dots on each pieces, and it will align them according to the dots. So here I will just go feature and preview the alignment, and when it will match, I will just click generate the model. So preview the alignment. Okay, so as you can see, the two elements on top of each other. It made it automatically. So that's something which is pretty nice. And when you click generate model, it will just create a model which is called merge_01, which is here. And as you can see, you know, on that piece, I do not have the other side, but on this one, I have both sides, which is pretty cool. But these elements are very similar. So we'll be able to take the bottom piece of this one and just plug it here. And I will show you what this stuff looks in ZBrush later in the process. Because what I did is that I imported everything into ZBrush, I cleaned a tiny bit the pieces, and I just put these two elements back into position inside the CryoCan. So that would be a way to show you how it works. So here we are in ZBrush. If you look at the model and everything, you can even read Barbasol on top of it. That's something which is pretty cool. It got, you know, tons and tons and tons of detail. But the stuff which is cool is that I will just go here and I will just lift it and you will see the inside. I will just go perspective mode. So as you can see, I will just hide that one and then I will click on this one. Nice. And as you can see, it captured everything. So that's incredibly, incredibly cool. So if you give that piece to a client or something, that will be a very, very strong base. I will just have to make a tiny bit of retopology and it would work. And that stuff is pure metal. So that's very metallic. I still managed to do it perfectly. We'll just, yeah, put that stuff back. I will just remove that one. I will click on the top one. Nice. And I'll just push it down here. All good. If I go transparency, you will see the inside. So if I use the transparency and everything, you will see the part which are in it. So that's pretty cool. So that's the CryoCan from Jurassic Park, the one MetroY is using. I will just hide it. And I will have a look at the tripod now. So here is the tripod. So as you can see, it's very, very, very nice. I really love it. It's like it kept all the features. You have both sides of the model. It does the job. So that's the only stuff I'm expecting from the scanner. I have a job to do and the scanner is doing the job correctly. So that thing is full of detail. So if I have a scan of a model like this, I just have to make a retopology and then it will work perfectly. So now we'll change again the scanning mode and we will go parallel line mode. So every time you change the scan mode, it changes the target point distance. So be careful, just push it back to the left again to get the maximum resolution. That mode is the one I use the most. Even if the scanner is incredibly good to scan you know, reflective object, black object, and that the cross-line mode is kind of optimized for this. I managed to scan very black and very dark and a very shiny element with the parallel lines mode too, with absolutely no problem. And as you know from my previous videos, not sure if you watched them, but if you did, you know that my goal is accuracy. My goal is to have the maximum precision, to have the maximum detail. And parallel lines mode gives you just that. Okay, so here I'm trying to scan the plate. So that's what's important for me right now, is just to get the plate. So as you can see, I try to stay in the excellent field. So from my own experience, you need to make wide movement, you need to make slow movement, and you need to go first up and down and then left and right. If you have a mix of everything, if you go slowly, you will get very nice result. So again, to get a very nice scan, it could take some time. So what I will do on that one, because it will get EV in no time, I will scan the front part and then I will scan the back part in very high resolution. Then I will create maybe a complete model scanned a bit more quickly to be able to align the two pieces together easily. In the merge option, you can merge pieces together. So that complete scan, which will be a bit more rough, will just be used to realign the high resolution two pieces together more easily. So here you can see I have the front plate and the back plate. So here is the mesh model. So I will just go raw. So that's the first part of the model that I scan. As you can see, it means the tail. And then when you fuse it, you get something like this. So what I did is that I just took that tool here. I selected the area that I do not want. It put it red, and then I just click on delete. And it removes the area I do not want. Again, I used a fusion mode with the highest quality. And then I went through isolation and overlap. I removed every tiny island. I removed all the overlap. So here you have the front plate, and here you have the back plate. So here you can see you have the tail and the missing part. Here you have the fused model, which again went through isolation and overlay. And here you have the mesh model. So it's pretty cool. So what you can do is that you can just go through merge again. So on top of the front plate and back plate, I scanned an area which is called complete plate fused, which is here. So as you can see, I select the 3 elements and then I will click preview the alignments. Okay, so here you can see it align perfectly, the 3 models together. I do not really need the complete model, you know, the yellow one, because the 2 others are higher resolution. So what I will do is that I will just remove it. And when you look at this, they are aligned perfectly thanks to the 3rd one. And then I will just export this model. You just go export, mesh model, and then you just check where you want to put it. You can export in PLY or in OBJ, STL, FBX, etc. So I will just export in OBJ, and I will select the path and I will click register, you know, save. Should be all good. That's pretty cool. Let's try to just activate, you know, just the double-sided mode. Nice. So you can see all the tiny markers on the skin, but what I needed was just the plate. I just need the plate, so it's fine. You know, I will remove, you know, all the skin part anyway. Yeah, so now from this, I will be able to isolate the plate, rework them a bit, because of course it's a maquette, a 1/5 scale maquette, so it's pretty small. And I will be able to make something, you know, pretty big out of it. So I will just refine everything and it will work perfectly. We'll change mode again and we'll go from parallel line mode to single line. The stuff with single line, I did not have so much opportunity to test it because that mode was made specially to scan deep holes. So for example, I don't know, imagine you have a structure or something to scan and there is one area which is a lot deeper than the other area. That mode was specially made for you to be able to scan this area. So that's something you need to have the opportunity to use it. On my side, I'm scanning mainly maquettes and props for movies. So I do not have a lot of opportunity to scan using that particular mode. But it's very nice to know that the scanner you have is able to do it, because you never know. It's better to have it and never have the need of using it than not have it and one day you need it. So at least you know you can use it if you want. So that's something pretty nice. And the last mode is auto turntable. Auto turntable just means you have the turntable, you know, the dual axis turntable. You connect it to the computer using Bluetooth and you will be able to pilot the turntable for the scan. So it's pretty convenient. I'm not so much using it. But that's something which is good to have, you know. It's pretty nice. But like I told you, I mainly use parallel line mod because what I want is really the highest quality. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed that video. I really hope now you understand a bit better what the MetroY Pro is able to do. I personally really love that scanner. It's very nice for shiny object, very nice for black object. It works with wire mod, but you can use it wireless if you want. The turntable is very useful, so you can, you know, just press the button, it makes the turn. It can flip in both sides. The resolution is very nice in parallel mode. You still need to have kind of a powerful machine if you scan for a very long time, and if you have, you know, I don't know, 40,000 frames, you will still need to have a machine which is quite decent. But usually when you do 3D, you have a good machine, so it's pretty fine. I'm pretty happy with it. I hope some of you will be interested in getting it. Personally, I will continue to use it for very thin detail model. The result in parallel lines mode is very, very nice. So I hope you like all this stuff, that now you have a clear idea of how it works. There is a discount code in the description, so if you want to buy it with a discount, just click on it. If you want to try the MetroY Pro yourself, all the link and discount code are in the first line of the description. Feel free to join the Revopoint Facebook community if you want some tips or helps from other users. And yeah, I would be curious to know what kind of object you would like me to scan the next time with the next scanner I will test. Hopefully the video was useful. If you like it, just put a thumb up. And you can like the video. If you have any question, no problem. Just put the question in the comment and I will try to answer it. And see you next time.